Hey babe. Nothing, just getting ready for a date. I'm super excited. No, totally. The red dress? Oh no, I love that dress. I'll definitely wear it. Okay. Alright, I'll see you soon. Love you too. Bye. Gah. That means I have to
shave. Oh.
I'm gonna need a bigger razor. Perfect. Well, at least all the hair is gone. Hello, YouTuber Indie Doonies, and welcome back to Keep It Creepy. I'm Kiha, and this is my channel. If you like what you see, feel free to click the little subscribe button over here. Or over here, I don't really remember, you know better than I, and you can get the latest and greatest updates on my channel as soon as they're posted. Also, feel free to leave any comments, questions, or suggestions you may have, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And well, ladies, it's that time of year again. You know the one. A time of annual deforestation for us women everywhere. So it's time to crank out those weed whackers, mow those lawns, trim those hedges. That's right, it's shaving season. Oh. So for today's tutorial, I had decided to have a little fun showing what could happen when shaving goes completely and utterly wrong. If you actually shave like this, well then you probably need a little more help than I can offer you, and you should probably seek a doctor or psychiatrist and get the help that you need. But without further ado, let's show you how to rip your leg open in style. That's right, it's time to get our creep on. So to begin, I'm just opening up some liquid latex from Monster Makers and putting that into our mold. And I decided the Q-tip was a little too small and just used my fingers. Normally I would use a makeup sponge, but since I'm out and need to make a trip to the dollar store, I'm just getting down and dirty with my hands. And right now we're just putting it all along the edges, making sure to pull outward so the very edge is as smooth as possible. And then we're going to work our way to the middle. And we're going to make this part thicker. We just want the edges to be very, very thin so that it blends in easier with our skin. And we're going to put about 3 layers in the middle, and trying to make sure that we don't put any additional layers on the very edge. We only want it to be about 1 layer. Very, very thin. Now I'm just reinforcing it with some tissue just to thicken up the latex and to speed up the process a little bit more. You could just keep repeating the process of adding layers and layers of latex, but I added some tissue just to speed up this process a little bit. I may be a wee bit impatient. Just a tad. Now we're going to make sure that it dries, and you can tell it's completely dry once it gets a bit of a yellowish tinge to it. Now we're just going to powder it thoroughly, and latex has a tendency to stick to itself, so make sure that you powder it thoroughly, otherwise it'll curl up on itself and you'll have really terrible edges. Now we're just peeling up one side of it and slowly peeling it out of our mold. And there you have your prosthetic, finished and ready to be glued down. Beautiful. Now we're just putting it on our leg to see where it'll go and where we need to apply our glue. And now we're putting down some Prozaid, and we'll know it's ready when it goes from white to clear. That's when it becomes tacky. adding some to the back side of the prosthetic so that we get an extra strong hold between our skin and the prosthetic. Now we're just popping that baby onto our leg. And now we're going to mix up some bondo, which is the Whacker fume silica mixed with Prozaid. Make sure you're working in a well-ventilated area or wearing a respirator when working with the bondo because you don't want to die, and I don't want you to die, so just do it. Be precautious. I'm holding my breath here, so don't wonder why. Do what I say, not as I do. Now we're just putting that bondo all over the edges of our prosthetic, blending it more into our skin, just making beautiful edges, which is what every makeup artist wants. Because bad edges are what make bad makeups, and good edges make makeups amazing. Then we're gonna dry this puppy and powder it to get rid of that tackiness so we're not sticking to everything. And now we're going to start coloring our prosthetic. I'm using Skin Illustrator in rice paper with a hint of red. And yes, that is how pale I am. I have to use rice paper to match my skin tone. And then I decided even that was a little bit too orangish, and I decided to go over that a little bit with a midnight cream tone in highlight. So yeah, my skin tones are highlight and rice paper. I'm one of those people that when you're on the beach you have to wear sunglasses to look at their legs because they are that blindingly pale. And now I'm just splattering some red and blue and pink to break up the edges and to distract the eye from any edges that may be seen. Now we're going to start coloring it so that your leg looks just like scrambled eggs. Mmm, delicious. Actually, the yellow represents the fatty tissue that would be in the leg and adds an under highlight to the red tones of the woundage. Now we're just going in with a light red color over that yellow, adding some ketchup to our eggs, if you will. And now we're going in with a slightly darker red, it might even be a purple. Yeah, a dark red purple, and we're going to go into the depressions with this color and just adding depth to our wound. And after that, we're going to add a little bit more depth with black, taking our dimension just a little bit further, and to really make it pop. Once the blood is added, it'll really make a difference. And now we're going in with some Fleet Street bright red blood. This was a little bit too bright for me, which is why I like to mix a combination of different bloods. So I'm also adding some REDDRUM blood mixed with a little bit of water in dark on top of our Fleet Street blood. And we're going to take it across the bone to give it that I've just been sliced open color, because it would be weird if the bone was just gleaming white against all that blood and grossness. And now we're just going to add some drippies to really add to the realism, like we're pouring blood from our wound, and we're getting there. Looking pretty gnarly and gross. And there you have it. Your leg is officially sliced open to the bone. Huh, talk about a close shave. Don't get much closer than that. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe and check out my other social media sites, and you can check out my other videos right here. Thanks for watching.